114. That's the number of stab wounds and slash wounds inflicted on 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey. On Mother's Day, May 9, 2021, Tristyn's lifeless body was discovered beside a retention pond in St. Johns County, Florida. Her murderer? Aiden Fucci, a 14-year-old boy who attended the same school. Tristyn was the youngest of 5 children, born to parents Stacy and Forrest Bailey. Growing up, Tristyn became an outgoing and cheerful girl who lifted the spirits of those around her. Her compassion and thoughtfulness brought joy to her friends and family, which could be attributed to her upbringing by her warm and kind-hearted parents. Tristyn attended Patriot Oaks Academy, where her vibrant personality led her to join the cheerleading squad. As expected, she quickly became the center of attention. Despite her bright future, Tristyn's life was tragically cut short on a fateful day in May 2021. Like many households in their community, the Bailey residence was celebrating Mother's Day. Come May 9th, the Baileys were up and about at around 9:40 a.m. as they busied themselves making a special breakfast for Stacy. However, something was not right. Tristyn was not there with them. Thinking she was still sleeping, Tristyn's siblings knocked on her room to wake her so she could help with the preparations. They were surprised to find that she wasn't there. Around 10 a.m., Stacy called 911 to report Tristyn missing. She mentioned that the last time they saw her was around midnight and that she was supposed to be sleeping in her room. To Stacy's knowledge, Tristyn had been spending time with friends in the neighborhood but had never snuck out of the house before. Tristyn didn't have a boyfriend either. They tried checking online to see if she had left any traces, but her Snapchat and Life360 locations were off, and her phone was not in her bedroom. When they rang her number, it went straight to voicemail. Eventually, authorities did an extensive search of the area. In their search, authorities were able to question people Tristyn had recently communicated with. Their first point of contact was Trey Absher III. Trey informed the authorities that around 12:30 a.m., Tristyn snuck around and arrived at his home. One of his friends left with her when their meeting was over. That friend was Aiden Fucci. When questioned, Aiden told the authorities that he and Tristyn walked to North Durbin Parkway. Multiple witnesses and surveillance cameras confirmed this, indicating the pair had been walking around at 1:30 a.m. 15 minutes or so later, surveillance footage showed that the pair was walking near Saddlestone Drive toward a retention pond. And that was the last time Tristyn was seen. When questioned, Aiden had 2 stories. Firstly, he told authorities that Tristyn had walked back home, heading toward a different route while he walked back along North Durbin Parkway. Aiden claimed he was home by 3:30 a.m. However, authorities wondered why it took him almost 2 hours to make the trek back home, since the walk should only be 30 minutes at most. This prompted Aiden to change his story. According to Aiden, he and Tristyn got into a fight after she grabbed his genitals as they were walking along North Durbin Parkway. In response, he pushed her and knocked her to the ground, causing her to hit her head. Aiden then told the police he couldn't remember if she got up because he was too high from doing marijuana. His explanation for the 2-hour trek was that he walked around alone for a while. Afterward, Aiden tipped the police into checking a drug dealer that Tristyn had allegedly spoken to on Snapchat. At this point, the police were highly suspicious of Aiden, and they advised him of his constitutional rights. Aiden declined to make any further statements, and when they returned him home, his parents asked for an attorney. The search for Tristyn continued through the hours. Meanwhile, the police were alerted when Aiden posted a photo on Snapchat. It was a selfie taken in the back of a police car when he was brought in for questioning earlier. He was holding up a peace sign and had the caption, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristyn lately?" The Snapchat message was forwarded at least twice and included additional text banners reading, "WTF Aiden," and "You were with her, Aiden, you know what happened to her." There was enough suspicion on Aiden that the police seized his phone, believing it might contain evidence related to the case. The search went on for hours, but ultimately, it came to a tragic and gruesome conclusion. Around 6 p.m., over 12 hours after Tristyn was last seen, a neighbor discovered her lifeless body during his evening jog. Because he was the last one seen with her, Aiden was detained at the police station and interrogated by his parents, who wanted to prove his innocence.
It's not very smart.
Not good at all. Now we have people want to burn our house down, our cars down. Because of that Snapchat thing you did. It's all over. You're all over the internet and everywhere. Social media.
It's on social media. You'll probably come stay with me after we get done with this. Just for your well and safe being. You have no scripts or nothing like that, right? No, sir. You sure don't smell?
I'm hungry. I don't want to sit. I don't have to sit down.
During the initial searches, authorities discovered a buck knife with a missing tip near the pond where Tristyn's body was found. The missing fragment was found lodged in her scalp. The knife was identified through DNA evidence as Aiden's. Authorities then searched the Fucci residence, uncovering several incriminating items: a buck knife sheath, blood-stained white Nike shoes, a bloodied t-shirt, a piece of paper with handwriting and possible blood marks, and a pair of newly washed blue denim jeans in a laundry basket. In addition, they found traces of blood and dirt in the bathroom sink drain adjacent to Aiden's bedroom. It was later discovered that Crystal Fucci, Aiden's mother, may have tampered with the evidence. She was seen on surveillance taking Aiden's jeans and washing them in the sink before returning them to his room a few hours later. On June 5, 2021, Crystal was arrested and charged with tampering with evidence. However, she pleaded not guilty on July 23, 2021. Investigators also discovered Aiden's notebook full of violent drawings, with one depicting a nude female with red X's over her breasts and genitals. As authorities questioned more people, Aiden's true nature came to light. His girlfriend told police that Aiden frequently talked about killing people and had always carried a knife outside school. He also pretended to stab her and even put a knife to her throat in one instance. Additionally, Aiden had talked in detail with her about how he would drag a random person at night into the woods and stab them to death.
When you say he kept knives, was it usually a different knife? Did he have one that he was partial to that was like his favorite? Or
he had like a few. He didn't really say he had a favorite. He just had knives, and sometimes he'd bring one or another. Or
did he say any? Did he have? I mean, when you say knives, we're talking like
just like pocket knives,
like folding pocket knives.
Yeah, like they would fold up and.
Okay.
All evidence pointed to Aiden, so he was arrested for second-degree murder. However, on May 25, 2021, it was upgraded to first-degree murder, indicating he deliberately planned and carried out the crime. He would also be tried as an adult. One of the prosecutors of the case said that the upgrade could be inferred from the 114 knife wounds on Tristyn, almost half of which were defensive. Aiden was detained in Duval County Jail for 20 months as he awaited trial. During his stay, he had been in several fights, threatened to stab a fellow teen inmate, and been pepper sprayed by correction officers. On February 6, 2023, Aiden pleaded guilty to first-degree murder.
And Mr. Fucci just wanted to make a short statement.
I just want to say I plead not guilty, and that I'm sorry for the Bailey family and my family.
Okay.
On March 24th, Aiden was sentenced to life in prison.
Mr. Fucci, having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I adjudicate you guilty of the premeditated first-degree murder of Tristyn Bailey. I sentence you to life in prison. Because of your age, you are eligible for review of the sentence in 25 years.
Because he committed the crime when he was just 14 years old, he was not eligible for the death penalty. His sentence will be up for review in 25 years. The disturbing crime left the community in St. Johns County in shock. However, the Baileys wanted to celebrate and remember Tristyn's short but beautiful life.
We are so thankful to have the community around us to celebrate the life of our sister.
The Baileys emphasize spreading kindness as a tribute to Tristyn's legacy. The good amongst our fellow neighbors is far greater than the evil we see in the world, Forrest said. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications by activating the bell icon. By doing so, you'll never miss out on new content, and it really helps us make these videos. So, like, subscribe, and activate the bell. We appreciate your support.